Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Sadguru Paramatmane Namaha. Sarva Maharshibhyo Namaha. Atha Shodashodhyayah Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yogaha. The 16th discourse, the yoga of the division between the divine and the demonical. The title of the discourse, Sampada means treasure, divine treasure. Daivi Sampada would mean the possession of divine qualities, a mass of sacred virtues. It is character equipment drawing the man towards God. Opposed to this is Asura Sampada, undivine or demonical qualities and character, which draw man away from God. In this discourse, the Lord explains the two natures, the divine and the demonical, very vividly. The seeker will then be in a position to examine himself and find out his real nature is. If it is good, he should strengthen it and make himself purer still and move forward to reach the God. If his nature is blackened by undivine forces, he should try to clear them away from his mind and body. So, this discourse is of great importance for all seekers on this spiritual path. As it deals with divine and demonical nature, it is entitled Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yogaha. How this discourse is connected with the previous one. Naturally, a fuller explanation of the two hostile forces would be helpful to his disciple. So, the Lord elaborately describes the man of divine qualities and the man of demonical qualities. Moreover, from the Purushottama Prapti Yoga, it is clear that the possession of divine qualities is absolutely essential to realize the Supreme Purusha. What are the qualities to adopt and what are the qualities to be abandoned? These questions are of immediate concern for all seekers. Hence, the Lord presents vivid picture of the two types of beings. He starts first with the qualities of divine nature. Shri Bhagavanuvacha, first sloka. Abhayam sattva samshuddhi gnana yoga vyavastitihi danam damascha yagnascha swadhyayastapa arjavam. Second sloka. Ahimsa satyamakrodhastyagaha shantirapaisunam daya bhuteshvalolatvam mardavam hrirachapalam. Third sloka. Tejaha kshama drutihi sauchamadroho natimanita bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. Substance. The Blessed Lord said, fearlessness, purity of heart, steadfastness in knowledge and yoga, alms-giving, control of the senses, sacrifice, study of the Shastras, austerity and straightforwardness, harmlessness, truth, absence of anger, renunciation, peacefulness, absence of crookedness, compassion to beings, absence of greed, gentleness, modesty, absence of fickleness, energy, forgiveness, fortitude, purity, absence of hatred, absence of overpride. These qualities belong to the one born of the divine state. Commentary. The Gita gives prominence to practice sadhana. The spiritual goal is very near when the mind is purified. So, the manner and means of purifying the mind are clearly stated in many places and here. Daivi Sampad is particularly intended to teach the disciple the science of self-purification. 26 qualities are mentioned here. The aspirant for moksha, like the good student at his desk, should cultivate these qualities and with determination and assiduous practice, abhyasa. He should not only acquire them but protect them as one would protect a treasure, safely, never allowing anything to drop away from it. Daivi Sampad is divine wealth, and the Lord scatters it among the people at large and says, O ye mortals, do not set your heart in worldly treasures. Do not get entangled in the meshes of sense enjoyments, for they shall cause misery, birth of the birth. Here are the precious jewels of spiritual illumination. Take them all, for they are yours, and you shall be truly rich and wealthy when you possess them. Therefore, the wise and the thoughtful should quickly take hold of the treasure, and with the knowledge treasure attain oneness with Paramatma. Abhayam. Among all the virtues, the Lord first takes up what may be described as the lion among good qualities, fearlessness, Abhayam. One should pause and think why fearlessness is given the first place among a number of other virtues equally great and adorable. Fear is the source of all evil, and from fear arises all other bad qualities. Men cheat, betray, fight, kill, dominate, suppress truth, and do every evil thing out of fear. All weakness is caused by fear. Man suffers misery by fear. Man clings to his life, wife, and children, house, and positions on account of fear. Those whose samsara is built on fear. So, if this fear is eradicated, all other evil and weakness disappear gradually. Fearlessness will bring with it all the other shining virtues which lead to liberation. So, it is the virtue of Daivi Sampath. In the game of tug of war, the first man and the last man are selected for their strength and weight. In this tug of war with evil forces, fearlessness is chosen as the captain to lead the team of virtues on the battlefield of everybody's heart. The Upanishads declare that Abhayam is the state of Brahman. Abhayam vai Janaka Praptosi. Thus, Abhayam, the first virtue declared by the Lord, should be practiced by every seeker for spiritual realization. Sattva Samshuddhihi. Perfect purity of the mind is stated next. The mind should be as pure as the purest mirror. Not a speck of dust should be there, not a trace of worldly thoughts, sensual tendencies, vicious inclinations should be there. As the mind gets pure, the Atmic light is clearly perceived in it. True knowledge and joy fills the mind. Gnana Yoga Vyavastitaha. Though different yogas are taught in Gita, here and there the superior excellence of Gnana Yoga is mentioned as Atma Gnana is the goal of spiritual life. Sarvam karma khilam partha gnane parisamapyate. All the works and yogas culminate in Gnana. Therefore, the Lord mentions it in the beginning, and the seekers should take to knowledge and cross over delusion and ignorance. Dhanam, charity, which includes every kind of help offered to others without expectation of any return from them. Gift of lands, money, food, water, service, education, knowledge, all offerings come under Dhanam. Damaha. The control of the internal organs is included in Sattva Samshuddhihi, and so here the control of external organs is mentioned. Self restraint, both internal and external, is a prerequisite of all spiritual progress. Proper emphasis is given to these virtues in the Gita. Yagnaha, Tapo Yagna, Yoga Yagna, Swadhyaya Yagna, Jnana Yagna. These are the yagnas most necessary for spiritual life. Swadhyaya, the study of Gita, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, Yoga Vasishta, Bharata, Bhagavata, Ramayana, and books of this type should be read and their essence absorbed through deep thought and meditation. This is Swadhyaya. Tapaha. This is explained in the 17th discourse. It is absolute purity in word, thought, and deed, and not the mortification of the flesh. Arjavam, straightforwardness in thought, word, and deed. This is called Trikarana Shuddhi because thinking, speaking, and acting form the triple function of all men. Where there is harmony among the three, there is truth. Poisonous reptiles are crooked in their movements, and hence, if man is crooked in his character, he is like a reptile. Ahimsa, non injury towards any creature in thought, word, or deed. Satyam, truth in thought, word, and deed. Adherence in Atma, the one reality. Akrodha, absence of anger. Krodha is man's deadly foe in every way. Obsessed by it, man loses all discrimination and destroys himself by cruel behavior towards the elders and gurus. So the Lord has already warned man against it. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Under its power, man is transformed into a demon, horrible to look at with the red eyes, sweating, shaking, abusing, and attacking. Freedom from this demon is therefore the primary duty of man in his life, both secular and spiritual. Tyagaha. Tyage naike amritatvam anashuha. By Tyaga alone, moksha is attained, so says the Upanishads. Taking refuge in Paramatma by giving up attachment for objects is yoga, is Tyaga. Giving up evil thought, evil actions, evil ways of life is Tyaga. Renunciation of all desires or enjoyments is Tyaga. Surrendering all the fruits of action to God is Tyaga. Internal renunciation is of more significance than formal external renunciation. Santihi, peace, calmness of mind. The mind should be like a waveless lake or not like a turbulent ocean. Perfect peace is attained only when the mind merges in Atma. Where there is no peace, there is no happiness. Ashantasya kutah sukham. Taking refuge in God and giving up desires is the way to peace. Apaishunam, not pointing out bad qualities in others, not carrying tales against others. Why should one concern with the evil of others? It is enough if he cleanses his own heart, filled with innumerable evils. Daya bhuteshu, kindness and compassion towards all beings is mentioned several times in Gita. Brahmagnana is most likely associated with the universal compassion. The seekers should cultivate this virtue along with bhakti, gnana, and vairagya. Alolatvam. Indulgence in several pleasures should be abandoned completely. The sense organs lose their power by yielding to the temptations of the flesh and are incapacitated to think and grasp higher truths. So they should be withdrawn from sense objects. Pratyahara and established in Atma. The mind should not waver from the chosen ideal. Mardavam, gentleness in word and deed, hardness and harshness should be abandoned. This is the attitude of a man of sattvic nature. Shrihi, this is the mark of an evolved human being. He is ashamed of himself if he does anything wrong. When he utters a lie, or when he injures another, or when he acts contrary to Shastric injunction, the seeker should question himself about his spiritual progress, and when he has not made proper advance, he should feel ashamed of his niggardly and sluggish attempts in securing his own good. When one comes across great men of purity and perfection, experienced in Brahmagnana, he should feel ashamed of himself and strive for perfection like them. Achapalam. The wandering mind should be brought to rest in Atma. Tejaha, the light of Brahman. Kshama, forbearance, forgiveness. One should think of God men like Sukha and their exceptional forbearance and love for all. When the pairs of opposites overtake him, he should remain firm and unmoved. Dhritihi, the seeker should be steadfast and firm. As man thinks of the unreality of the world and the blessedness of Paramatma, he becomes bold and firm in all the functions of his life. Like the Meru mountain, he should be immovable under the most difficult circumstances. Saucham, external purity of the person, house, etc. Internal purity of the senses and mind, the freedom from bad thoughts and feelings. Adroha, abandoning hatred and betrayal of others. Natimanita. One should not be proud and imagine that he should be adored and worshipped by others. This is a very important point for all the seekers to remember. Lacking in this, many advancing souls in spiritual life have fallen down before attaining self realization. One should think of Hanuman, his humility and devotion, his egolessness, his utter self surrender to Rama. Such a man alone can achieve the highest. The Daivi Sampad includes 26 virtues. These should be cultivated carefully and assiduously by all people who wish to advance in spiritual life. Question: how many and what are the qualities of Daivi Sampad? Answer: they are 26: fearlessness, purity of heart, steadfastness in knowledge and yoga, alms giving, control of the senses, sacrifice, study of the Shastras, austerity, straightforwardness, harmlessness, truth, absence of anger, renunciation, peacefulness, absence of crookedness, compassion to beings, absence of greed, gentleness, modesty, absence of fickleness, energetic forgiveness, fortitude, uh, purity, absence of hatred, absence of pride. These are the qualities born out of divine state.